From a small village in Turkey, he grew up tending sheep and living a life far removed from boardrooms and billion-dollar businesses. His beginnings were humble, his ambitions modest.
Hamdi Ulukaya, he has a pretty interesting story. So he's an immigrant. He grew up in a nomadic community in eastern Turkey, a very mountainous region, and he, was exposed to the business of dairy.
When he arrived in America with little more than a dream, he didn't have wealth or connections. What he did have was an unshakable belief in the power of good food and an eye for opportunity. That opportunity came in the form of an abandoned yogurt factory, a relic of a bygone era. To most, it was a dead end. To him, it was a blank canvas. With no experience in manufacturing, he took a risk that could have easily failed. But failure wasn't an option. He hired 5 workers, mortgaged everything he had, and got to work. The result? Chobani, a yogurt brand that revolutionized the food industry and transformed how the world thinks about healthy eating.
We started in summer of 2005 with 5 people, and we worked almost 18 months.
Today, Chobani is a billion-dollar business, leading the charge for better food, better health, and better opportunities for all. But his story doesn't stop there. He's used his success to champion social causes, empowering refugees, uplifting communities, and redefining what it means to be a business leader. He didn't just build a brand, he built a movement, a testament to the power of resilience, kindness, and a vision for a better world. So who is this man who turned a forgotten factory into a global phenomenon? Meet Hamdi Ulukaya, the shepherd turned CEO who proves that even the humblest beginnings can lead to extraordinary heights. Hamdi Ulukaya was born in 1972 in a small mountainous Kurdish village in Erzincan province, Turkey. His family earned their living as shepherds and dairy farmers, operating a sheep, goat, and dairy farm near the Euphrates River. They often led a seasonally semi-nomadic existence, tending and herding their flocks. Hamdi, who had 6 siblings, is uncertain of his exact birth date because he was born during one of the family's mountain treks, though he later adopted 26 October as his birthday. From an early age, Hamdi learned the importance of integrity and perseverance. His father often told him, "A man who works with integrity will always find success," a lesson Hamdi carried with him throughout his life. Despite limited resources and opportunities, Hamdi excelled in local schools in Erzincan, driven by his natural curiosity and determination to pursue education beyond his village. After completing high school, Hamdi moved to Ankara in the early 1990s and enrolled at Ankara University, studying political science and business administration. This marked a pivotal moment, exposing him to new ideas and perspectives that broadened his worldview. In 1994, at the age of 22, Hamdi made the bold decision to leave Turkey and move to the United States to study English. Initially settling in upstate New York, he enrolled at Adelphi University on Long Island. Struggling to adapt to a new culture and language, Hamdi worked various odd jobs to support himself while attending classes. In 1997, he transferred to the State University of New York at Albany, where he deepened his understanding of business and management. Life in America was far from easy. Working long hours to make ends meet while pursuing his education often left Hamdi questioning his dream. Yet the values of hard work, family tradition, and persistence that he learned in his childhood kept him focused. While living in the US, Hamdi worked on an upstate farm. During a visit from his father, Hamdi was encouraged to import the family's feta cheese from Turkey after his father tasted the inferior cheese available locally. Inspired by this idea, Hamdi established a small wholesale feta cheese plant named Euphrates in Johnstown, New York in 2002.
I did not have an intention of starting another business, which I was operating a small cheese shop. But the moment I got to the factory and I saw people were closing that old factory and realized that what it meant, that factory meant for the people in that community and how they were reacting to closing it.
It took 2 years to break even. Reflecting on that period, Hamdi described it as 2 years of the most challenging days of my life. In the spring of 2005, Hamdi's journey took a life-changing turn. One day, while looking at his spam box, Hamdi noticed an advertisement for a fully equipped old yogurt factory for sale in South Edmeston, New York. He later reconsidered and realized it was a great opportunity. The 84-year-old factory, previously owned by Kraft Foods, had been shut down, and the flyer advertising its sale had initially ended up in the trash. Against the advice of his attorney and business advisor, Hamdi toured the plant the next day and decided to buy it.
And then later on, I found out that there is a business opportunity. And then when I saw this ad, it said fully equipped yogurt plant for sale, and it was a Kraft plant. They were closing after 95 years. I bought it with an SBA loan, and that's how it started.
Working tirelessly for 5 months to find financing, Hamdi eventually purchased the factory with a $1 million loan from the Small Business Administration and local business grants. Naming his new company Agro Pharma, Hamdi set out to create the best yogurt in the United States. With a team of just 5 people, their first job was to paint the factory walls. Over the next 5 years, the team grew, recruiting many of the factory's former employees, and eventually reached more than 2,000 employees. Hamdi decided to make an alternative to the overly processed American-style yogurt, preferring the rich, creamy yogurt he grew up with in Turkey. He hired Mustafa Dogan, a yogurt master from Turkey, and together they spent 18 months perfecting a recipe for thick, strained yogurt made with natural ingredients and no artificial preservatives. To manufacture this yogurt, Hamdi needed a milk separator, a commercial machine costing over $1 million. Unable to afford a new one, he found a used separator in Wisconsin and negotiated to buy it for $50,000. On his trip to pick up the machine, the name Chobani, meaning shepherd in Turkish, occurred to him. By October 2007, Hamdi had shipped his first batch of yogurt, a few hundred cases, to a grocer on Long Island. The response was immediate and overwhelmingly positive, with customers clamoring for more. The store repeated its order the following week, but Hamdi wasn't ready to rest. With no budget for advertising, he turned to creativity and ingenuity. He designed distinctive bowl-shaped packaging to catch customers' attention and set up in-store sampling to let people experience the product firsthand. Slowly but surely, word spread. Chobani's name began to carry weight, but growth wasn't easy. Hamdi poured every ounce of energy into refining operations, managing limited resources, and keeping up with demand. Every step of the journey was a battle. In those early years, there were moments of doubt, days when the factory ran out of funds, and nights when Hamdi wondered if he could keep going. But his belief in the product and his commitment to delivering quality kept him pushing forward. It was this resilience that turned a dream into something much bigger than anyone could have imagined. By 2009, all of Hamdi's efforts began to pay off. Chobani wasn't just a yogurt anymore, it was a movement. Customers loved the creamy texture, natural ingredients, and wholesome taste that set it apart. The small grocers who had once taken a chance on Hamdi's vision were now clamoring for more. The brand's momentum grew with every new store shelf it reached. By mid-2009, Chobani had secured a place in major retail chains like Stop & Shop and ShopRite. Weekly sales skyrocketed to an impressive 200,000 cases. Then came the breakthrough deals with BJ's Wholesale Club and Costco, an unprecedented leap that propelled Chobani to national prominence. By 2010, just 3 years after that first batch was shipped, Chobani had achieved over $1 billion in annual sales, cementing its status as a leader in the US yogurt market. The company's international journey began in 2011 with its acquisition of Bede Foods, a Victorian dairy company in Australia. This expansion was supported by a $30 million investment, upgrading a production facility in Dandenong, Victoria, and beginning manufacturing in December 2012. Domestically, Chobani achieved another milestone by opening the world's largest yogurt factory in Twin Falls, Idaho in 2012, an investment of $450 million. This move created 7,000 jobs, significantly reducing unemployment rates in the area from 6.3% to 2.4%. In the same year, Chobani opened its first brick-and-mortar cafe in Soho, New York City, which became a hub for showcasing its innovative offerings. By 2014, Chobani expanded into Asia and Latin America, reaching Singapore, Malaysia, and Panama, while announcing plans to enter the Caribbean market. The company also introduced a range of innovative products during this period, including Chobani Oats, a blend of Greek yogurt, steel-cut oats, and fruit. Chobani Indulgent, a dessert yogurt. These initiatives were supported by a $750 million investment from private equity firm TPG, which enabled Chobani to sustain its rapid growth and diversify its offerings. Chobani's commitment to its workforce has also been a cornerstone of its success, reflecting Hamdi Ulukaya's belief in creating inclusive opportunities for marginalized communities. However, this practice drew controversy in 2016, with reports of boycotts and even death threats directed at the company for employing refugees. Despite these challenges, Chobani remained steadfast in its values. In April 2016, the company announced it was giving 10% of its ownership stake to employees, allotting shares based on tenure.
We used to work together. Now we are partners.
This move reportedly turned some of Chobani's longest-serving employees into millionaires. In the same year, Chobani introduced a program offering 6 weeks of paid parental leave for new parents. By 2021, Chobani raised wages for its hourly workers, who make up 70% of the workforce, from $13 to at least $15 per hour, setting a benchmark for fair labor practices. In 2016, Chobani entered the Mexican market, further expanding its international footprint. By 2017, Chobani had surpassed Yoplait to become the #2 yogurt manufacturer in the US. The company also announced a $20 million expansion of its Twin Falls plant, adding a 70,000 square foot facility and establishing a global research and development center. At the time of Chobani's launch, Greek yogurt accounted for less than 1% of US yogurt sales. But by 2017, it had grown to 50%. Largely due to Chobani's leadership in the category. Hamdi Ulukaya signed the Giving Pledge, a global philanthropic initiative founded by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Chobani's momentum only accelerated. In 2018, the company continued to expand its product portfolio with the launch of Chobani Gimmies, a line of kid-friendly yogurt snacks, and a focus on non-dairy products such as oat milk and coffee creamers. By 2019, the company had introduced probiotic-rich yogurt drinks and functional wellness beverages. In 2020, as the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted global markets, Chobani adapted swiftly by bolstering its digital presence and strengthening e-commerce channels. It also launched initiatives to support frontline workers and food-insecure families, donating millions of dollars worth of products. The company's philanthropic ethos was further evident in its increased commitment to supporting local communities and fostering sustainability through environmentally conscious packaging. By 2021, Chobani filed for an IPO, marking a significant milestone in its financial journey. While the IPO did not materialize as expected, the move underscored Chobani's growing valuation and strategic focus on long-term growth. During the same year, Chobani launched a new line of plant-based yogurts and expanded its international footprint by entering the Middle Eastern and African markets. From 2022 to 2024, Chobani continued its diversification efforts, introducing innovative products like high-protein snacks. The company also doubled down on its sustainability goals, aiming to achieve net zero carbon emissions across its operations by 2040. It introduced new biodegradable packaging and invested in renewable energy for its production facilities. Chobani's workforce initiatives remained a priority during this period, with a focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. In 2023, the company announced a partnership with global non-profits to provide skills training for refugees and underserved communities, furthering its reputation as a socially responsible employer. By December 2024, Chobani had firmly cemented its place as a global leader in the dairy and plant-based food industry. With its innovative products, unwavering commitment to community well-being, and focus on sustainability, the company exemplifies how businesses can thrive while making a positive social impact. Chobani grew from a small yogurt brand into a global industry leader. Its impact on the yogurt market, both in the US and internationally, solidified its legacy as the face of Greek yogurt and a symbol of entrepreneurial excellence. Hamdi Ulukaya's remarkable journey from a humble Kurdish village to creating a global yogurt empire stands as a testament to the power of perseverance, vision, and purpose. Through Chobani, he built more than just a billion-dollar brand. He crafted opportunities for thousands, uplifted refugees, and set a new standard for compassionate, purpose-driven leadership. His initiatives, such as the Tent Foundation and his direct support to communities in need, highlight his deep commitment to using business as a force for good. From being named Ernst & Young's World Entrepreneur of the Year to becoming a passionate UN advocate for sustainable development goals, Hamdi's influence extends far beyond the dairy industry. His story serves as a powerful reminder that true success is not measured solely by profits, but by the positive impact we leave on the world.